Namaste to you and welcome to Mindfulness Moment. This is a practice of mind, body, breath, and spirit coming together. And that's really what the definition of mindfulness is, that we are very present in this moment. And a way into that is an invitation for us to become still. Hmm. We can do that in our physical body. We don't spend a lot of time sitting very still or even standing still in our day. We're very kind of busy moving around. Same thing, the mind, the beautiful mind, just as it should be, is very busy, kind of planning and scheduling and creating, doing all kinds of things. So, this practice is just an invitation for us to slow down a bit. We can start like physically slowing down. Even within movement, can we find a little stillness? And even within this beautiful, powerful mind of ours, can we find a little ease and stillness? This is the practice. So thank you for being here. My name is Evalena, and it's just a great pleasure to guide you today. So go ahead and let's start with a seat. So I'm going to shake out my legs a bit. You can sit on the ground. You can sit up in a cushion or on a yoga block or something that feels good and comfortable for you. And we'll go ahead and just rest the hands down onto the ground. If you're seated in a chair, make sure that you're seated in a nice, tall, upright position, your feet planted firmly on the ground. And let's start here with a little stillness and movement. So taking a deep breath. As you do that, float the arms up to the sky. All right, and then exhale and float the arms right back down. So we're just going to keep moving like this, right? The arms lift on an in-breath. You're up. Deep breathing, stretching. You might find that you can expand, that this gentle, soft movement becomes a little bit still, right? So we're not jerking our arms, we're not kind of flailing, but we're very mindfully moving and breathing, exhaling and emptying. And this kind of slow, still motion, if you will, takes a great focus, right? Takes a great focus. It's a little easier to kind of just fling the body around or to move without awareness. So just focusing. Notice as you focus, as you breathe in, the breath is lifting the arms up. There's muscular strength, there's core energy at work here. Emptying. Let's just take a few more like that. I'm going to kind of still my mouth for a moment. I'm going to kind of quiet, spine breath. You let your gaze get very soft here. Keep going. Really utilizing our breath now to inform this still motion. Right? Exhaling, emptying. Let's do two more just like that. Inhale, rising up. Exhaling and emptying. And once more, here we go, all the way up. This time we're going to come off and out into a twist. So take the right hand to the left thigh, the left hand back behind you. You can rest on the chair if you're seated in the chair, and turn and twist and do this, right? Do this with the energy of your breath. You're twisting, you're beginning way down low in the spine. Let the shoulders soften. And again, even in this movement, this interesting movement in the body, can you find a little stillness, right? A little stillness in your breath, a little stillness in the thoughts. Inhale, come back up to the center, reach up. Turn and twist and turn and twist and breathe deeply. Inhaling. Exhaling, and just notice as you're practicing in this manner today, this very focused, mindful manner. We're trying to get a little stillness even in the motion, the movement. Notice what comes up for you today, right? Inhale, reach up. Maybe you find this infinitely interesting. Bring your hands to touch at the top, pressing your hands in a prayer, and then exhale, your hands right over the midline, goes through the nose, the mouth, and finally meets here at your heart. Maybe for you, this is bringing up a little irritation or just something other, right? Just notice and try not to judge, just be, right? So we're moving very mindfully today. We're going to move in slow motion, right? Movement and stillness, coming onto our hands and knees. Now, I happen to be working on a tile floor today. So if you want to put something underneath you, you have a yoga mat, that's great. You can always use a blanket or a pillow or something. So come onto your hands and knees. Organize your posture so that the wrists are underneath your shoulders, that you have plenty of room in the spine, right? You're not too tight, right? Your knees are not too close to your wrist. You have a lot of space there to open up the spine, and start to move now. And inhaling forward, chest is open, exhaling, rounding, let go, chin to your chest. Let's keep flowing. But this flow is like that beautiful, beautiful, soft spring that feeds the pond, right? Just opening up. You can, even though you can feel or experience or visualize the water moving, it's just moving very, very slowly up and over the rocks, right? Making its way. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. So we learn to be able to access this idea of stillness, again, even in motion, even in physical movement. We learn and practice to recognize it and invite it in the beautiful mind, the patterns, the thought patterns. Can we breathe a little stillness into the thought patterns? Lift your right arm straight up into the sky. Play there. You can feel the right arm, you can pull it forward and then you can pull it back. This gives you a nice little shoulder stretch opening. And go ahead and weave that right arm underneath your left arm, or you can drop your head on the ground, or if you want to put a little something underneath your ear there, go ahead and do this and breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You can rest here. You can rest, right? Feel the motion of your breath, but just drink in the calm and the peace. In and out. Go ahead and gently rise back up and play again. Do some cat and cowing, opening up the spine. You can get creative here. So again, not just moving out of habit, but moving into the body in a very, very mindful way, right? So maybe for you, you have a lower back interest or something happening in your hips. Maybe it's the shoulders, the head and the neck. Maybe it's all of the above. So use this very kind of calm and still movement, even though we're moving, right? So just getting the idea of being present with each one of these movements, breathing. Go ahead now, we're gonna float the left arm up to the sky. Let's float it up there, right? Keep breathing. Bring the left arm way forward. Use your breath, right? The motion is very, very, very intentional. Taking that left arm back behind you, floating that left arm up to the sky, opening and then forward again. Once more, it goes up to the sky. And even here in transition, sometimes I get really kind of quick in transitions, right? Be really clear. You're weaving that arm. Take that arm, you're turning the palm, the shoulder comes underneath you, and here resting on the ground, you get a nice, beautiful stretch into that left shoulder, into the spine, into the lower back. And deep breathing. Inhaling. Exhaling. In through your nose and right back out through your nose. Take one more just like this, and deep breath. And then gently rise back up, hands underneath your shoulders, and some more flow, right? Flowing stillness, right? Flowing stillness, cat and cow. Breath full and open and spacious. taking a rest now. I'm pulling my hips back and making sure that I'm very comfortable here. I have my shins on the blanket, reaching your arms way, way forward. You can stack your hands one on top of the other and rest your forehead here. And just take a moment of rest and breath. And here now, right, we do have the physical stillness. And then you can go in, you can check in, right? What's underneath that moving still water, right? You can feel the energy flowing, feel how the breath moves through your body. Every breath is an opportunity to open, to expand. The exhalation, an opportunity to release and surrender to this moment. Breathing in. Breathing out. Try to quiet the mind, quiet the body. Deep breaths. We're spending a little extra time here today, a little extra time in our practices, sometimes even in our mindfulness practices. We go from one thing to the next. We're very busy and in a hurry. Sometimes the beauty lies in these moments of just being, of taking the time to simply be. This is one of my favorite stretches, especially after a long day of work or in the car, perhaps, any commuting that we do, right? Just letting go, letting go. Good, and then go ahead, start to bring your arms forward, stretching and lifting, and go ahead, you can walk your knees underneath you, and we're gonna come to stand. So if a downward facing dog is a pose that you enjoy, that you like to take here, see how you can move into this pretty vigorous pose, but moving into it with awareness and stillness, right? So once you've found, right, your hands pushing down into the ground, you feel how the muscles are engaged, the back of the legs, the heels moving down towards the earth. Can you still that energy, right? Can you still that energy? Feel your body, feel your beautiful breath. So taking your time, maybe you're out of your dog now, you've walked your hands, back to your feet, and your heart is softening here. You can start in a forward bend, and eventually now, even if they're in a downward facing dog, you can come to join us, getting ultimately into a forward bend. Feet can stay nice and wide. They can be hips distance there. Let the head relax. Bent knees is very supportive for a lower back stretch. Breathing in. Breathing out, and we're going to take the right hand to the left shin, float the right arm, be very mindful, float the right arm up to the sky. You can straighten that right leg. Take some full breaths here. Exhale, gently release the right hand coming down. Take a deep breath in, empty it through your mouth and let it go. Right hand pressing against your left shin, and then that left arm floating to the sky. Floating. The movement is very slow and intentional. Deep breathing. There's a presence in your posture. Full and steady. Exhale and gently release and let it all go. Slowly we rise up. So press down into the ground. You feel energy coming up through the legs, and kind of quieting the mind, quieting the body to really experience sensation as you rise all the way up. Your palms are facing forward now. You're nice and tall. Inhale, turn the palms so that they face behind you, right to the back, and then float the arms up to the sky. They come alongside your ears. Float, lean way back here, opening up through the top of your chest. Exhale, keep the arms forward, bent knees. We're coming down, exhaling. Drop the head, but keep going with the arms, lifting your arms, slow motion, up alongside your hips, and then ultimately to the ceiling, the tips of your fingers. And we're going to reverse that. Bent knees as you come down, right, as you're moving forward. Use your breath, your palms will come up. Bent knees, we're coming through an Utkatasana shape there, and then gently rising all the way back up, leaning back, open-hearted. So now this is a very fierce pose that we're coming through, right? Bend your knees. Can you find some stillness in this pose, or this chair pose? Exhale, release, slow motion, very intentional. Head drops, right? Arms continue to move very slowly, and they reach all the way up to the ceiling as your ribs soften, melt to your thighs, reversing that energy. Coming into your seat, your arms are down alongside your shins and coming forward, slow motion, coming up. There's the chair pose, the Utkatasana, and then leaning back. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands together in a prayer and exhale your hands here to your heart and feel that energy. You're beating the heart. And again, moving with this very, very, very focused intention. The body is awake and aware. Yes. Beautiful. Release your arms. You can give your arms a little swing and sway. Nice. Even here, again, let's step out a little bit wider and just open up your hips a bit. A little swing in your hips. But you notice, right, the energy can become a little bit still, a little still. Good. I'm going to sit down in my chair today to do a little bit of hip work. So if you want to join me in a chair, go ahead and take the time to do that. If you would like to do this on the ground, you could also do this on the ground. So what we're going to do is in the chair, we're seated nice and tall. Hands resting on your thighs. If you're on the ground, you can have your legs out in front of you, your knees bent, and just reach your hands back behind you. Right? So just leaning back there. We're going to take ankle to knee. You can lie down if you're on the ground now. This is the right ankle going over the left knee. If you're on the ground, you'll be on your back, the right ankle over the left knee. If you're on the ground, you're going to draw that right thigh up towards you. If you're here, seated, right? Float your arms up, up, up. Deep breathing. Exhale, float the arms down. We're going to flow forward. Turn your palms open to the sky and just melting yourself here. If you're in the chair, you can hook your elbows right in front of your shins, or maybe your hands, your elbows are resting there on top of your shins. And breathe here. In and out. If you're on the ground, it's a thread the needle pose. You keep hugging that left thigh towards your body, keeping a real clarity, being mindful that that right foot stays flexed. Deep breath in and deep, deep breath out. To gently float back up, use your breath. If you're on the ground, you can undo the legs and just rest for a moment. The arms come down alongside you. Undo the cross of your legs. Feet very clearly on the ground. Deep breath in and out. Let's do the other side. So this time it'll be the left ankle on top of the right knee, right? Ankle to knee. Using your breath. If you're here in the chair, you're floating your arms up, up, up. Nice. Use your breath, turn your palms forward, hinge forward, and then hook your elbows right in front of your shins or rest your forearms on the ground. You're hugging that left thigh towards your body. Make sure you keep your right foot flexed, left foot flexed. Breathing in, breathing out. Stillness here. This posture, again, even though, right, the body might be in a more static position, notice the movement as we quiet, as we soften the mind, as we soften the body, we can go in, we can discover what's happening right underneath the surface. Again, just using this idea of stillness, even in movement. Use your breath, come back up, lift up. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Beautiful. Exhale, releasing your arms down alongside you. Go ahead and undo that, undo that. Okay, so you can give your legs a little massage, the tops of your thighs if you're on the ground. If you're on the ground, you're going to want to sit up now with your legs extended forward. We're going to do a forward bend here. So I'm going to reach my heels forward, kind of digging in. Make sure that you're safe on your chair. I'm doing a little slipping there. So push the heels down into the chair. Start to lift yourself forward. Belly is nice and strong. Float your arms up. Float your arms up, turn your palms down, and then come forward into the forward bend. If you're on the ground, this is a Paschimottanasana. Here in a chair, same thing. It's a forward bend. Let your head hang heavy. It should feel opening and good for your lower back. So if that's not the case, maybe you come up a little further, right? Back away. It should feel like a good stretch for your back body, for the back of the legs, for the lower back. Opening yourself up, breathing in, breathing out. Relax the head. You can shake your head yes, no. And then again, come to a place of stillness. Let go here and check in. Check in with your breath. And you find the stillness. Our breath pattern, our very natural breath pattern gives us this every breath, right? As we breathe in, you feel that energy. It's a little pause at the top. There's the stillness. And as you exhale, the energy goes out. And at the bottom, a little bit of stillness, a little pause. And then gently rose back up. And slow and steady. Good. Shrug your shoulders. Nice. If you're here in the chair, again, bring your feet back underneath you. If you're on the ground, you're just seated in this staff position with your legs extended forward. Little movement of the head and neck. Good. Shrug the shoulders. Nice. We're going to prepare our seat of meditation now. So this is the practice, right? The mindfulness practice. And it culminates in this moment where we come to the seat. All of this physical posturing that we do is really designed for us to be able to kind of sit still, right? Sit still and take a moment of self-examination, just to see where we are, right? Where we are in this moment, to find our breath, to find our bodies, and bring it all together. And in that moment, right, when there's a union of mind, body, and spirit, the body automatically stills, right? Everything kind of calms and stills. And this is this practice. So now, mind you, right, this is not so easily done. Pelvic floor muscles are nice and strong. This is a very vigorous seat, if you will. Even if you're in a chair, your posture is nice and full and upright. Turn your palms up to the sky. We use mudras often in this practice. You can drop your left hand into your right hand, right? And the palm of the hand, and just touch the thumbs very lightly together. And this is just a way of kind of stilling, right? That very natural energy through the mind and down into the palm of our hands. We're very busy. We're constantly moving and creating with our hands. And by just touching the tips of your thumbs together and just relaxing here, we can, again, invite stillness. Start to fill your body. And here now, once you've settled into the seat, the invitation, right? The invitation of the teachers is to then be still physically. See if you can just settle into it, right? Whatever posture you've chosen, chair, on the ground, see if you can melt yourself here in this moment. Almost immediately when I commit to the stillness, there's something that comes up. Oh, my clothing needs to be adjusted, or maybe there's a little itch at the tip of my nose. Something will come along to try to distract me pretty quickly. And you can go right to your breath and just feel that beautiful breath coming in. Maybe many of you have been doing this, right? This meditation practice, and it's quite natural for you, and you kind of fall right into it. It takes me a moment. I've been doing it for years and years, and it still takes me a moment to arrive. And once we've found the stillness in our body, let's turn our awareness, our attention to our breath. And now here, as you just really notice the subtleties of your breath, it comes in and it moves out. It's almost effortless now. Relax your jaw, your tongue. The eyes soften. And hear now the stillness of our breath. Now we go to the mind. The stillness of our mind. Maybe you are right where you need to be. You've landed. Maybe you've gotten on an airplane and flew away. Right? Just notice, see if you can come back. And this again is just a way of us to observe, to appreciate, and to invite the mind to a bit of stillness. So be really kind and compassionate. This doesn't mean that we stop our thinking mind. That's not what we do here. That your mind is designed for that, that we just find the stillness. That beautiful space between one thought and another. As we practice, maybe those spaces become a little bit longer. Maybe today's not the day, but you're here, right? You're working, you're practicing. Stay with it, still body. Still effortless breath. Still mind. Your awareness now, bring your awareness to your body. Bring your awareness to your breath and intentionally start to deepen your breath. Let it flow in. Let it flow right back out, emptying, emptying, emptying. Take another full breath, inhaling, a little pause at the top and notice the stillness right here. Empty, empty, empty your breath. Let your chin drop to your chest. Go all the way to the bottom of this breath and notice, right? And appreciate the stillness at the bottom of the breath. Just empty. When you need to breathe in, you can lift your chin. Go ahead and bring your hands right here to your heart center. Nice, full breaths. The stillness right here and now within. Take another breath in and empty, empty. Drop your chin to your chest. Namaste to you all. Thank you so much for the privilege and honor of guiding you through this mindfulness practice. If you ever have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me. You can reach me at evalena@yogasole.com. Thank you so much, and I wish you an amazing day. Perhaps you weave a little stillness, or you just notice the stillness that is already here. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.